Alrighty, folks, it's me again, VB7200, and today we're doing kind of a tour of my desk setup, sort of thing, kinda, I guess. This is kind of, well, this is downstairs in the computer room, I guess we call it now. Originally, it's actually supposed to be like a mud room, but we just don't use it for whatever reason because we have another door on the side of our house that was here when we got it. So we don't really use this room as a mud room anymore, but that's really what it's supposed to be. It's really like a front room. You can see we have all these, or a sunroom, I guess they call it, all these windows and crap. But so down here, I guess I keep all my computer crap, as you can see. It's kind of a little collection stuff. Also, I'm sorry because like in some places the sun's gonna glare really weird because I actually the other day I fell and I took my arm and tried like catching myself on the window, but kind of pulled everything down with it. So yeah, it got kind of destroyed. I gotta get new blinds one of these days. But anyways, I guess we're gonna start with this side of the room here with my printer. This one's not plugged in for some reason. This is one of many printers I've had over the years. If I can find the plug. Well, it is plugged in actually. I wonder why it's strange. Anyway, this is an Epson XP300 or Epson. I don't know why I said Epson. It's Epson. It's a good printer. It does what I needed to do. It's got a scanner and everything on the inside. This is a picture of my mother, I think. Yeah, my mother. When she was little, my grandmother's using it to scan things for like a family reunion or something. Whoops, I dropped that. So moving on to this side. Oh, it's also a good printer because down here it has like a little SD card slot. I don't know if you can see that right there. But ink cartridges are kind of expensive for this because you buy 4 instead of 2. Like you have one for each primary color. I'm not going to get into, but so moving on here is my kind of mobile device collection. Mobile device collection. It's not really that large. Pretty small actually. It used to be bigger, but I've since traded some stuff, got rid of some stuff, and it is what it is now. There would be a PSP, and DS, and all that other crap, but I gave some of the stuff to my cousins. I sold some of it, blah blah blah. So, at the front here, we have one of my phone thingy-mabob. It's like an answering machine with a handset paired to it. This is one of the ones that do not work. All of them, except for the one that we are using, actually, they don't work. Because either they just don't work for whatever reason. Most of them has to do with the handset not actually pairing with the base for some reason, or the handset's just lost or broken, or something like that. This one doesn't work. This is a AT&T. This one, the problem is the handset will not pair to the base for whatever reason. But other than that, I guess it would work. I guess you just gotta fix this somehow, find a way to pair it. Moving down here, we have. This is one of my Midland GTX 1050s. These are very good walkie-talkies. They're like waterproof, shock resistant, all this crap. See, it's in mossy oak, I believe. Yeah, mossy oak is it. It should say somewhere actually. It doesn't. I'm almost 100% sure it's mossy oak, but that doesn't really matter. They're about $100 retail, and they claim 36-mile range, which is bullshit. They will never get that far. But other than that, they're really good walkie-talkies. They have a lot of features like group codes, so people can't get into or listen in on your frequencies and whatnot. I think it goes up to 50 channels. Basically, we use them for like if I go out to Old Forge, which is north of where I am. It's about an hour north, and there's not really. It's in the Adirondack Mountains, so there's no really good cell reception up there. So we use these if we go like riding or snowmobiling or something, so we don't get lost. Next to it would be another random walkie-talkie. It's a Motorola T4500. This is, I don't know how many years old this is. I know it's old because I remember having one of these in kindergarten. I had 2 of them. I gave one to a friend, and I haven't seen it since then, as you would guess those go. We have a just air freshener and a lava lamp right here. I got Spencer's. I think these are like not 50. I want to say $40. I'd probably off. It's probably a lot less than that. This isn't actually your standard lava lamp. It's actually a little bit bigger than what you would get at like a Walmart or something. These are like the shapes. It's cool because it does all different colors and stuff. I don't know. I like it. So moving down here to the actual devices, we have a SanDisk Sans Fuse. Yeah, this is actually the company that makes the SD cards and flash drives and whatnot. They actually made media players for a while. a while. I've had this one since I was at about 4th grade. I'm not sure if that's when they came out. But I know they came out with a second edition of this, which is the Sansa Fuse. This is the Fuse. They also had a Sansa Fuse Touch, I believe, which actually wasn't a touch like an iPod Touch. Basically, it had a bigger screen and it had this really weird gesture thing for how you would navigate the menu. Basically, this one has like a wheel, as you can see there. Clicks on the buttons like an iPod and it moves. Actually, it has an LED around it, lights up too, which is kind of cool. But instead of having this click button thing, it just had a giant touch thing with like arrows for you to navigate, which was horrendous. I never had one myself, but I know a kid who did it. I tried using it. I couldn't figure out for the life of me. But these had a nice resolution display, a pretty decent size. This actually is a little bit bigger than the 3rd generation iPod Nano, which is what it kind of looks like. It even has an iPod-style connector. The iPod, or the connector that came with it looks suspiciously like the 30-pin dock connector, as you can see on an iPod. Right there, they look almost identical. However, they are not the same at all. They are completely different things, and they won't fit. I believe it's an 8 GB capacity. However, unlike iPods, it also has micro SD card storage, which is pretty cool. Also, at the time, Sansas actually were not to compete with the iPod. They did a lot more than the iPods did, actually. The original iPods, a lot of them, they couldn't hold pictures, they couldn't hold movies, they didn't play, they probably played games. But when these came out, they could do all of that when the iPods couldn't. I believe this is the first, no, the iPod Photo could hold photos, and the iPod Video could hold video. But it wasn't until like the later Nanos where they could do all that stuff at once. Basically, this and this are pretty much the same thing. Only this is iTunes, this has whatever music you can download. I believe you could use this as iTunes if you really wanted to. Moving on from that is my first kind of real iPod. Actually, I'm not sure what I had before. I think this is the first iPod I had. I know I had this one before I had this. But this is the iPod Nano 5th generation with the camera on the back of it. It still works, but I do not have a working 30-pin dock connector since I no longer have devices that actually need that. So I kind of just don't have one anymore. I forgot about it. I probably do have one somewhere, but I don't know if it still works. Basically, with my 4S, I gave it to a friend. She took the dock connector, and I don't have it anymore. So, you got your switch up here for hold and power and whatnot. Is this switch? Yeah, that's hold. Hold switch. Forget how to turn on. I think you got to hold this middle button or something. I don't know, but it works. It's really, God, it's really beat up as you can see. It's really light too. Those are good iPods. You can play videos and stuff on them. iPod Touch right here, which is not mine. It's also the friend actually that has the 4S. Basically, she just wants me to fix the screen on it to get pictures and stuff off of it. I haven't really got around to it, but I've had it for like a year or so. I guess it's kind of mine now. I think she forgot about it. Moving on to my cell phones, there are more cell phones that are they're just not here because I'm letting people use them. And my brother has one of them. So here is my LG, I'm not even sure what model this is. I actually don't think I could find a model number on this. It's an LG track phone, basically. I got it for like $5 when the Sears was closing by me. But my local Sears closed. They have everything like 50% off, 75% off. This was originally like $20, and I got it for $5, which is a pretty good deal. It's got a camera on it. It's a track phone. It has messages and whatnot. You can't put an SD card in, I don't think, though. I don't see a port for that anywhere. So whatever's on there, you're stuck. I also had a Moto G at a point in time, and I had, what else did I have? A Moto G, and I had something else. I think I had like a Gravity, something, a Gravity Touch maybe. It's like T-Mobile, something like that. Moving on is another Verizon phone. This is track phone, this is Verizon. This is the LG Cosmos 3, which is basically the same exact thing as a 1 and 2. The LG Cosmos 1 looked exactly alike. The back looks actually like... The back was all black and had like a little pattern on it. The only difference is this one did not have, or the LG Cosmos 1 did not have a 3mm jack on it. And it probably, the screen isn't the same resolution, the UI is different, and all that other crap. And I don't think it had this. I don't remember if it did or not. The LG Cosmos, the original, was actually a really ugly phone. I remember at the time when that one came out, you could get either that or you can get an Samsung Gravity, or Samsung Intensity 2, which was the one I went with. This one honestly reminds me of an Intensity 1 more than those. Those are back when feature phones actually mattered. But basically, if you were to pick up this one, you would know how to use it if you had a Cosmos one. And the last one here is a Flip Ultra HD. This is basically an HD camera, sort of. I use that term loosely. The flip thing on it. This is really just a camcorder that does a really shitty job of taking videos, actually. It's like a point-and-shoot camera. It's not meant to take really good videos. The lighting on it, if it's low lighting, it's bad. Much like a cell phone camera, actually. Of like an iPhone 4 camera or something like that, it reminds me of. I think it has like 8 gigabytes of internal storage. You have an HDMI, a flip port, and a tripod mount in the bottom there. One cool thing about these, though, I guess is kind of cool that you can't really do with other camcorders is, if your battery runs out, here's your rechargeable battery, you can actually run it off of 3 AA batteries, which is, I guess, useful if you need to do it. This is really like for, just like point-and-shoot videos, not anything like professional. We got this, my brother was in 5th grade when we got this damn thing. And I don't think I've used it, actually, like, since. There's probably still videos from like when I was like 7 and 8, or not 7 and 8, like 10 and 11 on there. But moving on to the bottom here, we have a Commodore 64, which is in okay. It's a bread box, I believe. It's in good condition, like cosmetic wise. The internals, not so much. I did open it up. I lost screws, which isn't very good. But on the inside, it's all dusty, but it works. I don't actually know if it does work. One day I did turn it on and it did power up and it did show something on the screen, but after that it won't. Nothing will come up in the video. This little LED will turn on and that's all. It doesn't do anything else. Next to that is my iBook G3, which you guys have seen. It still works. I just don't have a charge at the moment. Moving on down here, we have a load of crap, including a Duo phone, which is a phone recorder for our landline phones. Apple charger for the older iBooks and PowerBook. My CD collection with a bunch of DVD RWs and crap in there and movies. Soldering iron. A toolbox. A bunch of spare parts. This one being an ATI Radeon video card, I believe. There's a model number right there. ATI 10028924B from 2006. This was originally in the Dimension that I'm now using as a primary computer. Here is a blank CD case. I think this is Windows 7. I'm not sure because I didn't label it. I'm not sure. Windows XP Home Edition. This is a Service Pack 2. This is actually for refurbished PCs. I'm not sure where it came from or what it's for, but the disc looks cool. That's kind of why I took it. Not for resale. I believe this would come with like a refurbished computer, or you could. It's from 2007, so Vista was on the way by then, so it probably would have been gone. It's OME. You need a product activation key. I believe this will still install Windows 7. You just need a COA of the PC. This might be for like a repair shop or something they handed it out to. I'm not really sure about that. More parts. I need to move this heater. More parts back here include. This is a processor right here. An AMD Athlon 64. It's like a the model number's in there somewhere. I think it's like a 3500. I'm not sure. It's like a 2.5 gigahertz clock speed, so it's not really a powerhouse. It's single core. The X2s are the dual cores. We have a modem, which is useless since modem. Yeah, I have broadband by now. And just some spare RAM. I believe they're all like 500 megabyte sticks. Yeah. Samsung 512, yeah. So, I have 4 gigs already in the Dimension, so that's kind of useless to me. Moving on, I'll put all this crap back here. You can look at the laptops there. On the top, obviously, is my MacBook Pro 13-inch with a Retina display, which is kind of decommissioned at the moment. Not because it's broken or anything. It just needs a charger. I lost the charger for it when we were on vacation. I left it at the house there. And the guy, I honestly think he stole it or sold it that owns the house. I'm not really going to point fingers because my aunt called him or emailed him and asked him about it. He claimed he never saw it. I know where I would have left it, way out in the open. I know if he doesn't have a MacBook, You can clearly see this is actually an off-brand one, but it looks just like this. It has an Apple logo dead center. You couldn't mistake it for anything else. So I honestly think either he just kept it and sold it because they're like $80. So, but I don't know. I'm not going to point fingers because there's a strong possibility that didn't happen either. So on top of the MacBook Pro with a i5 Retina 13-inch. We have my HP Pavilion G6, which has a broken LCD screen. That actually is the problem with a lot of my computers. And the PowerBook, which you guys have seen. There is one more laptop and another desktop, which isn't in here because they're both used often. And down here is the box. There's CB radio, my Radeon R5 220 box, which is in the Dimension, and the Dimension's old motherboard, which basically had, I got it for free, and it had 2 blown capacitors. Right there they are, as you can see. So, that's that. Nothing really to do there. As I get up here. Oh, this clock too, by the way. It's a pretty nice clock. Shows the temperature. It's actually kind of cold in here. It's 6 degrees, and the humidity. That's a nice little clock. So moving on to one of the newest additions, being the this monitor. This is a Dell Ultrasharp monitor. It's a really nice monitor for what it is. I got it for really cheap too, like I think 50 or 45 bucks or something. I got it for, which is really nice. Next to my old monitor, which is not hooked up to anything, there's the cord right there. Basically, I don't have enough of those 3-prong connectors because I have to run this monitor and the Dimension off of one. So, I've been having some little problems with the Dimension. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe it will show you now. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But basically, whenever I press the button like I just did to wake it up and go on it, it won't wake up. See how now it just waked up perfectly fine, no problems. Before, it wouldn't do that. But this is my Dell Ultrasharp. It's a 19-inch, 16, no, not 16 by 9, 4 by 3 ratio, I think it is. It's like the square. It's not, it's like this. It's not, widescreen, because number one, widescreen, I wouldn't have the room for a widescreen monitor, and plus this fills the screen. There's actually more room on this monitor than there would be on a widescreen because of just how it's oriented. So that's kind of cool. Give me 1 minute to do something really fast. Alright, hopefully that made the video a little bit better because I noticed my lens is kind of oily for some reason. But yeah, the Ultrasharp, it's a what the hell is it? It's a 19-inch. Yeah, it works fine. It has a DVI input. It has the 2 USBs on the side, which is nice. I'm actually running the webcam off the rear USB. Basically, before you do anything, I guess I'll show you when you get this. There's all the ports. It's also dual input, so you can run 2 computers on it at once, which is nifty. This laptop's running off of it as well. It's got Windows 7 Home Premium right there. And you switch it over, Windows 7 Ultimate. Back here, I see this little wire here. You need a female USB connector to actually run the sound, which kind of sucks. You can also mount a speaker to the bottom if you so wanted to. So I'll type my password in here. We got Sailor Moon right when we open up Google Chrome. Pretty fast, speedy internet. I like it. So the keyboard that I'm using here is I've had this for years. I don't even know how long I've had this thing. It's disgusting, as you can see. This is a Dell multimedia keyboard, which, as you can see, basically these look the same as the standard keyboards they were just giving you with Dimensions or Optiplexes that you would have gotten at the time. They look the same. They're shaped the same. You could tell them because the space bar juts out like this at the bottom. However, the multimedia ones have these buttons up here along with this knob, and they're silver instead of black the other ones would have been. One thing I don't like about these keyboards is they wear out really easily, as you can see. You can't really tell the letters. So this is an O, this is an I, W, A, S, D. Pretty screwed up. C is, N is, yeah. But it gets the job done. I really like this part of it up here, the volume buttons right there. It's probably one of my favorite features. It's also got like quick launch buttons up here. Media control. Yeah, it's a good keyboard. So the Dimension down here, as you can see, it's the Dimension C521. It's running Windows 7 Ultimate. I had this thing. I've had actually a couple problems with this. While I'm just talking about my problems, I'll open up the control panel here. Control panel. You can look at the specs once it opens. System and security system. So basically, this guy has an AMD Athlon 64X2 dual-core processor. With it's a 6000 plus. It's a 3 gigahertz processor. However, it doesn't have hyperthreading. So it basically what hyperthreading does, it doubles your lines of code or lines of data that each core can handle. So if this was hyperthreaded, it would be able to do 2 lines of data per core instead of 1. So basically, a processor with the same specs that has hyperthreading would technically be twice as fast. Like speaking, it's not always the case though. This is a powerhouse processor though. This is the fastest that you can put in this socket. It's an AIM 2 socket. This is the fastest this computer will support. It also has the most RAM that it'll support officially. I think it can go a little over 4 gigs, like 6 maybe. I think even 8. But I'm not too sure on that. I'm going to have to get some 8 gigabyte sticks and see. Or it'd be, because I have 1 gigabyte in each bank right now, so you need 2 per each instead. So we'll see how that runs or works out. Maybe it could run 8. If it would, that'd be amazing, because then I'd be pretty much done with upgrading this. It'd be max potential. Activated, whatnot. Get a device manager, look at the graphics processor that's in here. GPU. I see the display devices. AMD Radeon R5 220. See here, there's some info on it. Nothing really. We can go to what is it? Catalyst control center. Actually look at the real stuff on it. I'm not sure if the processor actually supports catalyst control. It looks like it does because it recognizes it in the program, so it might. I'm not really sure if it was a thing when this processor was out. This processor's I think 2005 the date is on it, so yeah, about 10 years old. I'm not sure if it was around then. See, it takes a while to open up. It always has, even on my older computer, or even on that Pavilion down there. The Pavilion has this on it, and it took 20 years to open too. So give it a while here. There we go. Now it's open. It's basically, it just loads all these ads. It pisses me off. So performance, AMD Overdrive. It's a 1 gigabyte card, so it's not really that bad. See their high performance memory. The GPU clock is 700 megahertz is the max, and the memory is 900. This is actually a brand new card. I got this at Best Buy for I want to say $40, I think. Yeah, $40 around there. 45 actually, probably. Don't really like it. Yeah, so it reads the CPU, which is good, I guess. But so we can X out of that. Basically, when I got the card, the story of why I've been through so many what's it called? OSs on this thing. I've actually been through. It came with Windows XP Media Center Edition, and I put Vista on it, and then Vista was working for a while, and then Vista crapped out. So I got rid of Vista because, well, the main reason why I got rid of Vista is because I wanted to put the new graphics card in there. The drivers didn't exist for Vista, but it did exist for 7, so what the fuck, just put Windows 7 on there. I will not go to Windows 8. I don't like Windows 8 at all. This is only from 2009, which isn't really that old. Windows 7 is still pretty much widely supported. It's probably going to end up being like XP. XP lasted, what, 13, 14 years before it discontinued. So we still got a while, hopefully, left with Windows 7. But yeah, I won't go to Windows 10. I don't like it at all. I don't like Windows 8 even. I mean, I kind of learned to like Windows 8 and deal with it, but I will not like voluntarily put it on a computer. I just can't see myself doing that. Nothing else really I can show you on this. I guess we can switch over now. Oh no, you guys you've seen this one. There's no point in doing that. So I guess that kind of ends this video then. I love this monitor. Just to say that quick. This is a really nice monitor. What's the resolution of it? I'm not actually sure. Screen resolution. Yeah, it's a 1024 or 1280 by 1024. It's highest it'll go. This is on VGA. As you can see, this is running off DVI on this mode. VGA, for some reason, doesn't... I can put it in 1280 by 1024, but it doesn't look like this. Actually, I'll show you really fast. As I switch over here. I do like that, too, being able to have more than one computer connected to the same monitor. As you see, this one's... Oh, there's a bunch of Windows or QuickTime players in here for some reason. Now, I don't know if it's just that this computer... What do you do in QuickTime? I don't know if it's just that this computer is actually in this account anyway, everything's blown up. But I can tell the resolution isn't quite the same. So you can see, when I go to 1280 by 768, it'll go to. Because I believe it's the highest supported by VGA. But you see, everything is like squished together, and I don't know why. But we'll revert that because it looks weird. You can go back, I guess, on my user account. Switch users. Because mine doesn't have that, like, inflated looking thing. Go to mine. What's the password of mine? I think it should be this. I haven't been on this account and I don't even know how long. I don't even know how fast it'll load. So I'll pause the video so I don't waste any more time. Alright, so I'm back in my account. This account is from, like, I want to say 2011-ish. You see there's green poison on here, which was I used to use to try and jailbreak my iPod. So let's see if it still does it on this one. I don't know why it would. I have a feeling it will, though. Yeah, it still has this really weird... I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's because it's trying to put it in widescreen, but it can't fit it in widescreen. Like, I can go up to... like 1280 by 720, which is HD. But it still looks like that. I don't know why. I think it's the length is something's wrong with the length. I don't know why. But let's see what the yeah. None of that's gonna work. Yeah, this is really wide. This is wide. This is wider. This is really wide. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's that. I can't really change too much with that. But it does its job, and it does its job well. I think it's, like I said, I think it's because it's DVI. And it just doesn't want to cooperate. But this thing does what I needed to do, and it's a pretty good computer. So if you're looking for just a cheap computer, and you want to upgrade the shit out of it, this isn't very expensive at all to upgrade. The processor is like $20. The RAM was about 10. And the GPU was like, oh, I don't even know. I think it was like, yeah, 45. So, to get the computer for $100, or I got it for free. I think you can even get them for less than $100, to be honest. And then to go up and add all that, it's like about $200. So, that for this computer, this beast is, I think it's pretty good. So, thanks for watching, guys. Really come subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and peace.